which is just, it's crazy. He's our hero. He's like, he's never unable to defend himself for multiple reasons. Not only does he have magic, but he's like a super awesome swordsman, and he's just fucking strong as hell. So he could like just beat the fuck out of somebody if he needed to. But he's completely incapacitated 2 times very quickly with little to no effort in this chapter.
Well, getting hit in the head is like super bad for you.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
And he got, how many times did he get hit in the head in this chapter? Like,
at least
5.
Yeah. And now we know for a fact he's bleeding out of his head.
Yeah.
So that's never good.
Mm-mm.
Just head bleed is, as a general rule,
Bad.
Yeah. So we know he got hit hard too.
Yeah.
I've been hit. We talked about that. And yeah, there's a moment for me. One time I can really remember. It lasted a minute. If you get your bell rung good.
Right. So it makes sense that he's so far fucked up at this point because he's been hit multiple times. He needs some rest. Or maybe not. Yeah. Maybe he needs to stay awake for a while.
You definitely want to sit down if you can't see well.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall over.
But he has a concussion probably, so he should probably stay awake for a while just so he doesn't like die.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you can't go to sleep right now, pal.
Yeah.
You gotta stay awake. Smell the smelling salt, buddy.
But the sword never hit Pasha when he pulled it up, because, I mean, he just didn't get there. She was swept above Richard off the balcony until she hit the stone below before he ever got there.
Yeah, so he is, like, swinging wildly, trying to anyways, and he finally takes a shot at her, and he doesn't reach her, because she just flies off the balcony. You'd be like, whoa, did I just do that?
What?
I gotta use the sword to, like, direct it, like he's pulling a Blackbeard. That's what he's doing.
Oh my gosh.
He just points the sword at people, and they go flying. But we find out that it's actually Warren.
Yeah, he's in the doorway all shocked and shit.
Warren just threw Pasha off a ledge. Warren likes Pasha. We know this.
Yes.
That couldn't have been easy.
No, that would have been difficult. And he goes to go look over the edge, and Richard stops him because it's not pretty. No, but Richard looks himself, and he's like, "Ooh,
that was a big fall." No. Look over here. That's like Penny off of the tallest building in Chicago. What is it?
Oh yeah,
Empire State Building.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Well, and Richard feels terrible that Warren did this when he could have, which is actually kind of a mirror to when Richard killed somebody for Kaylin, when she could have handled it, and she felt so terrible about that. So I thought that was a little bit interesting. And Warren says that he had heard her admit to killing Perry. He had obviously been sitting out there for like the entire attack, just like listening, and he couldn't let her do that to Richard. So like he brought out his bravery and went in there and saved him. And I don't know, this chapter had 2 different people murder the people that they loved, quote unquote.
Well, I think it's trying to show that they are trying to do the right thing.
Yes.
And they have these people. Now, okay, Pasha and Warren were not an item.
No.
Verna and Jed used to be an item, but they were also not an item.
Because Jed's a dickbag.
Because here's the difference. Richard is in love with Kaylin, and they are an item.
Yeah.
So, mission be damned, I'm going to go save Kaylin. But these other 2 people now who have killed their exes, or like in Warren and Pasha's case, they're not together. It's just
the object of their affection.
But they're not together.
Yeah.
Then those people, it's okay to kill them. They were evil. They deserved it. I will add that in. But it's okay to kill them for the mission's sake.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the line.
Sorry about your feelings. No,
yeah. Sorry about your feelings. But they are evil. And I think if Kaylin was evil, it would have to go that way, too. Obviously, she's not.
Yeah.
But Richard would have had to make that choice. I love you, but you're bad, and I have to save the world, so...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And that is kind of... Richard gets that a little bit more here in a minute about those choices, what he thinks those choices mean for people with magic. So we'll get there.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sister Verna had entered the room at this point, and she and Richard comfort him as he cries, because he's obviously going through it right now. They tell him that Pasha was lied to by the sisters, And Keeper got into her mind. It, like, infested, creeped in there. And he did a brave thing by murdering her ass. And he just weeps for a bit while Richard holds him. Like, it's a very tender moment. He's like, they're friends, so Richard will hug him while he sobs into his chest.
Yeah, and I mean, this is obviously a traumatic experience for Warren. We know he's looked to Richard for, I guess, protection. He's used Richard as a therapist of some kind to, like, help him fight his irrational fear of the outside. So, like, he really trusts and loves Richard.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's all on display that he killed Pasha for him. But then he looks to Richard immediately for, like, the comfort after that, too.
I will say, to be fair, it shouldn't have even been a question, though, about Pasha versus Richard. Because of everything you just explained. And the fact that him and Pasha were not, like, he barely knew Pasha. They weren't a thing. For sure, he should have killed her for Richard. Like, there shouldn't have been any, like, maybe I'll hesitate and save her. No! Fuck her.
He's gotten way more out of his relationship with Richard than he has from Pasha.
Yes.
Not to sound, like, materialistic. It's not materialistic what he got from Richard, but time, friendship. We know he was a loner.
Yeah.
You know, and then courage to be outside. He wouldn't be here on this outward balcony if it weren't for Richard right now, too.
Right.
That wouldn't have even been a thing he considered. He would be hiding or downstairs.
Especially in light of the Sisters of the Dark being in the palace. For sure, the mole would be hiding in the basement.
Right. Well, yeah. They're scary.
Yeah. So Verna looks at Richard's head and is like, dude, we gotta address that, and I fucking can't. Like, this is bad.
That's gross. I'm not touching it.
Warren's like, I can do it. But they have to clean it out first, which makes him, like, super sick. He has to sit down. It's a whole fucking thing. But then afterwards, he can heal them all up. He tells Richard that he figured out Wizard's first rule. Like, he understands it now. Pasha is a perfect example of it.
Right. Right. She fell for all of this craziness, and it led her...
Off the balcony.
Way off the balcony. Warren asks Verna if she'll take off his collar. I think I've graduated. I'm done with this shit.
If Richard is leaving and, I want to be able to do what I want to do, okay?
Yeah, I kind of like to go with him, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm over all this shit.
And she says that he would have to pass the test of pain. Of course, we know about the test of pain. This is something all wizards have to do. But Richard, he's like, hey, I think he just fucking did. He suggests that the sisters have, over the millennia, convoluted this test of pain into an act of physical pain. That maybe it doesn't actually have to be like that. Maybe it's emotional trauma. Now, this relates to me, not relates to me, but makes me think of Zed earlier in the book. In order to get his power back, he has to have a severe emotional reaction. Which points right to this. Like, something bad has to happen to wake that power up and enable you to do something like that. So we had Richard's assumption that it's not physical pain from earlier in the book.
Yeah,
we
right
didn't
there.
even realize it.
Well,
fucking good time.
Yeah,
good job.
No, that is good. Yeah. Well, and Richard says, okay, that trying to put somebody through pain and saying that they could handle that doesn't really prove anything about them as a person, or that they can handle the weight and responsibility of magic. Like, that's just fucking stupid. That's stupid. Maybe the test requires they prove that they would choose right for all people instead of for their own will, which is what we were talking about just a little while ago.
Right.
That it makes sense that that's something that magic people have to go through and prove so that they could wield the magic freely in the right way.
It's like the Thor aspect. You're given this great power, but you have to prove that you're worthy enough to carry it. And once you do that, then we trust you now. Now you can be free.
Yeah.
And we could beat the hell out of you all day long. It doesn't make you, or it doesn't prove to anybody you're a good person.
Right. And Vernon and Warren have both proven that in this chapter.
Right.
For sure.
So they should both be free. Verna should be able to quit and be like, middle finger rockets, I'm out. Well, this actually does make Verna decide to take Warren's collar off. And she does pretty easily and straight away. Like, right away. She's like, all right, click. What? That's it? That's all it was? God
Yeah.
damn it, Verna.
How annoyed would you be if you were standing there as Richard? Like, yep, that's fucking awesome. Good. I'm so happy for you, Warren. So happy for you.
Hey, Verna, make with the fingers. Come on. Come over here. Now, Richard asks what he's going to do now that the collar's off, and he's like, I think I'm going to keep looking at the books. This is what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be a prisoner here.
Yeah.
It changes the
Dynamic.
Yeah, well, yeah, by a lot if I'm not literally held prisoner. So he just wants to check out the books. Maybe someday he'll go to the Wizard's Keep and check out some books there. Check out Aidendrill, like travel.
Yeah.
Be somewhere else for a little while. That's where I would be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, he wants to finish studying the things that he's been doing anyways. But he is worried that maybe they won't let him if he doesn't have the collar on, and Verna's like, I got you, bud.
Yeah, not a problem.
Verna suggests that Warren comes with them to the valley, because it's going to do you some good to get away from all this shit that's going on here, and it'll probably just be helpful for everybody if you just come with us.
Yeah, and this is another thing that he would not have been able to do without Richard.
Right.
There's nothing more wide open than a valley of nothing but sand and magic. It's fucking terrifying. Talk about wide open spaces.
Never mind. And plus, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to have a wizard now who is not collared with them on their journey, along with Verna. You don't know what you're going to run into. And Richard to have his buddies by his side until he can't, especially since they got rid of his best friend, fucking Gratch.
It's sad.
Yeah. As they grab their shit to get out, 3 guards run up and they're like, hey, we think we found the sods. We think we know where they're going. A ship had set sail the night before, the Lady Cepha, and the people at the docks saw 6 women go aboard after dark, and we believe that those were the Sisters of the Dark.
I mean, they gotta be, right?
Yeah. Sneaky women sneaking onto a boat. It's them.
In sneakiness.
Yeah.
You're underestimating the sneakiness. So the problem here isn't that they're getting on a ship, is that there's no ship fast enough to catch them. So they got away.
Plus, I'm thinking, okay, guys, realistically, even if we did have a ship that could catch them, you have 6 Sisters of the Dark on a ship. You're going to have a ship battle out in the middle of the water.
With magic.
With these bitches with magic who have more magic than everybody in the palace.
Yeah.
Like, how would that work even if you had a ship fast enough to get them? There's literally no fucking point.
The very idea that a ship would survive a battle like that is just ludicrous.
Yes.
There is no fucking way.
Yeah. Unless you have some crazy strategic plan about, like, capping them all from a really long ways away without them knowing, which is impossible.
Hail Mary cannon blast. He's like, look, we're going to get about a quarter of a mile away. We're going to point our cannon damn near straight up. And unless it sinks the ship in the first one, we're all dead.
Yeah, and even if it does, they have magic, so they might be able to heal it. So we got to hope that they're sitting at a table together right where the cannonball hits. So.
Yeah. There's literally 1,000,000 to 1 chance that that'll work. So I'm not really willing to risk that.
Yeah, they can go. It's fine.
We can't deal with both of these situations at once. Like, we have to choose one or the other. So, I mean, the world being saved is more important than just these 6 people. Yes, and Kaelin. I'm sorry. Kaelin first.
Right.
Then the world.
Yeah.
Then literally everybody else. And then these 6 people. That's the order in which of the problems that we have to deal with. 1, 2, 3.
I would probably personally go, like, making up with Gratch, like, finding his ass, and then Kaelin, and then the rest of the world, but that's just me personally. Whatever.
Well, yeah, you should go back to get your pet. Gratch. It's Gratch.
Richard thinks he knows where these guys are going anyways, which is they're probably going to the New World somewhere. They're probably going to go stir some shit up. So they'll deal with them later. It's fine. We have other things to do. So let's go. And that's the end of the chapter.
That's where it ends. There is so much in this one. I mean, Verna offing Jed it was sad. Like, I felt really sad when that happened. Then you have Warren killing Pasha. Didn't feel as sad. I mean, nope. I feel bad for Warren You know what I mean? But not the same. It wasn't the same dynamic to me.
No, it was